Hey everyone, this is Billy from Giles, and I'd like to welcome you to the channel. On today's episode, I'd like to have a quick chat about what emotional blind spots are and how they affect our daily lives. I'd first like to say that the song in the background is The Big Loom by an artist named Have a Nice Life, and that the game on screen is called Unpacking by a developer named Witchbeam. There will be links to find both the song and the game in the description below. With all that said and done, let's get on with the video. Now, for those who may not know, what are emotional blind spots? Well, they are these hidden patterns found in everyone that you may not see about yourself, but others will be able to see in you. You may even see features in loved ones and people you're close to. Like, for example, disconnect with your intentions, like being defensive or shutting down. Constantly being in the same situations, and there's way more to talk about. But the most important question is, how can we better ourselves and better the way we react to these emotions? I know that the only way we can learn about these tendencies is through other people telling us about them. So being social when we're emotional is actually crucial to learning about these blind spots. Like, I know from personal experience that it can be hard, especially as someone who has been told by close friends that when I'm particularly upset, I can, from time to time, close myself off and shut out everyone trying to help me. The only way that I've been able to grow from being like that is being around people and talking through my problems, to learn that it isn't a bad thing to talk to people when I'm upset, and would much rather that, because isolating myself is much worse. And honestly, the truth is that when we start noticing these emotional blind spots in ourselves, something begins to shift. You see, eventually you stop viewing these blind spots as these massive spiky flaws sticking out, and rather as these signals that flash inside us, telling us that there are parts of our conscious that want attention and this help, so that we're able to naturally and truly experience growth. And that's the thing that people don't realize. Our own emotional blind spots aren't a sore point for weakness, but rather this old frame that our minds created to try and protect us at one point in time. But now it isn't helpful. It has just simply outgrown its usefulness. Shutting down and avoiding conflict and people pleasing are just behaviors formed by our past selves to help us cope in rough situations. So to actually recognize the behavior and to rewrite our pattern isn't to, in quotations, fix ourselves, but just be a better, more authentic version of us. This healing part of us has to come when we are upset and are falling into these old habits, which is where, depending on the person, you may use certain actions to regulate your emotions, like taking deep breaths when in a shutting down stage, explaining how or what you're feeling to someone, or even what has always worked for me is just reminding myself whilst I'm in a stage like this, while I'm shutting down and upset, to just say to myself that I'm safe and I'm going to be okay. And then finally, after regulating, just slowly trying to rewrite how we react when we're in these emotions. Like for me, when I shut myself off, I just try and focus on being more open to people for a bit longer than last time. So yes, at the end of the day, the connections we have with others, no matter whether they are a close friend or a family member or even just an acquaintance, most of us would agree it can be heavily uncomfortable. But isolation feels safe, but it doesn't teach us anything. Connection does. Letting those people in when we're heavily vulnerable doesn't just teach us what our blind spots are, but maybe even more importantly, it teaches us, and I mean it, every one of us, that we don't have to face them alone. So, where does all of this actually take us? Once we start our own path of growth and self-acceptance. It can take us to a point where we notice that we can recover from emotional moments quicker, communicate more honestly with others, trust others more, and also ourselves more, and to take a step back and stop repeating these painful cycles that we continuously put ourselves through. And eventually, once we control these blind spots, we can make them straight, because you will know how to guide yourself through those feelings. Now, thank you everyone for listening. This is a topic that hits close to home, so I thought I'd talk about it. I really hope you will have a great day, and I especially hope to see you again down the line.